Welcome to CareerForce Winona Virtual Career Fair. Today is July 28th, 2020. Please enter your first name, last name, and city of residence in the chat box. We will use this to record attendance in Minnesota Works. Go ahead and do that at this time. Please mute your microphone at this time. You will be allowed to unmute your microphone at the end of each company's presentation to ask questions, or feel free to just ask your questions in the chat box. I'd like to welcome Liz Jennings, Employment Engagement Specialist. She will be assisting today and watching the questions that are coming through in the chat box. I also want to thank both Linda Arnoldy and Autumn Herber from CareerForce Winona for assisting behind the scenes today. We have two companies that are presenting today from Winona, RTP Company and Winona Health. Please welcome our first presenter, Bailey Rye, Recruitment Specialist from Winona Health.
On right now, you can change the slide. Okay, so I'm going to kind of talk about who we are. You can change the slide again.
Here we go.
Yep. So Winona Health is like a small town healthcare system located on Mankato Avenue in Winona, if you're familiar with the area. Established in 1894. So we've been providing healthcare to the Winona community for over 125 years now. And then we also offer over like 80 different types of services, anything like cardiac rehab, radiology, long-term care, and women's health. And then we also have over 1,000 employees from all around the area. And you can go next. So I added like our mission statement in there. Basically, it's devoted to improving the health and well-being of our family, friends, and neighbors. You can go next again. So I'm going to talk about kind of some positions we have open right now. So we have two cook positions open. Both are full-time at a 0.9, so that's about 72 hours every 2 weeks. Then we have a housekeeping aide position. We have a casual on-call one open. We just opened a full-time position, and then I also have a part-time evening shift open. For food service, we have a casual on-call position, a full-time and a part-time position as well. For a lab assistant, it would be part-time. And then we have some CNA positions. Some are in Watkins, some are in Winona Manor, and then we have one in family medicine. I think one might be opening up in like FBC and or MSP. And then we also have a sales and service specialist in our durable medical equipment department. A home health aide, that's part-time. Health unit coordinator in Winona Manor, that's full-time. And we have, I think, 2 open positions for a patient access rep that's full-time. You can go next. You click the next slide. Thank you. So we do have a couple full-time RN positions as well. One's in family birth, there's one in dialysis, one in Lake Winona Manor, and then ICU. And we also have a part-time RN position in the ICU. And then we also have certified tumor registrar position open, that's full-time, clinical pharmacist, that's full-time, psychotherapist, that's full-time. We have a full and part-time inpatient pharmacy tech position open. Nuclear medicine technologist position that's open, that's full-time. And then a surgical assistant and technician, that's both full-time. Then we also have a polysomnographic technician, that's a 0.6, so it's about 48 hours every pay period. And then a histology technician, it's full-time. And then a couple LPM positions. One's in internal med, Lake Winona Manor, and Watkins. And then we also have a community connector position open in family med, that's full-time. You can change the slide. I'm going to kind of show you how to apply for these positions if you're interested. So you'll first go to winonahealth.org, and it'll bring you to this homepage, and then you'll want to hit that careers tab where the red arrow is pointing, and then a drop-down menu will come down, and it'll say career opportunities. You can go next. And then it should bring you to this page. I recommend not typing in any like job title in the search box, just because if you get one like letter wrong, it'll tell you that no positions are open. So just hit that search button and then go next. and then it will bring up a whole list of open positions that are open. So for example, we'll just click on this housekeeping aide that's casual on call and go next. And then it should bring you to this page, and it'll tell you kind of an overview of the job, hours for the position, like the FTE, and then down at that green tab in where the arrow is pointing, you can apply to the job if you were interested. And you can go next. So I bet some of you are wondering, why should you even apply to Winona Health? What makes it so special to work here? Well, I'm going to let some of our employees tell you that. I recently sent out a questionnaire asking employees why they love working for Winona Health, and I did get a few responses, and I'm just going to share about 3 with you today. All super good responses. So this person said, we care not only about each other, but about the organization. We are all valuable and valued. We work to meet the great standards of care we set for ourselves and others. You are never just a number at Winona Health. You are a participant in the growth and excellence of the care we provide. If you give the organization your best, you will make a real impact for patients and your coworkers. Go next. And then this individual said, I love working for Winona Health because the people are genuine, community-focused, and loyal to one another and our residents and patients. I love that people truly care about the well-being of others. Winona Health is made up of 1,000 unique personalities and relationships today and reflects the mission of this organization that was first imagined over 125 years ago. Grit and grace are 2 words that perfectly describe the people who come to work every day in service to others. Winona Health is a family of hardworking and compassionate souls, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Go next. And last, that's the same slide. Okay, I'll read off another one. I'm not sure why that one's the same, but this person said, I love working for Winona Health because we really focus on the well-being and health of the entire community. Winona Health's commitment to the community was highlighted by their willingness to help Sauer during their COVID-19 outbreak. And it feels good to be a part of an organization that would do that. Okay, now you can go to that next slide. So basically going off their answers, we have really friendly people in this organization. I remember when I first started, I couldn't believe how many random people would say hi to me in the hallways and just smile and ask me how my day went. And we really do have that family atmosphere and like community feel that makes our organization so strong. We also have good benefits that are for part-time and full-time employees. We have above average pay, and then we also strive for the success of our future, or of the future and of our employees. So no matter what like your long-term or short-term goals are, Winona Health really wants to help you get to where you want to end up. So we go next. And so if you have any questions, you can contact me. My email's there, phone number's there, and I also added the Winona Health website if you want to apply to any jobs. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. So I thank you guys for listening to me, and I look forward to seeing some applications.
All righty. Thank you, Bailey. Does anybody have questions right offhand that you'd like to ask Bailey?
People can unmute themselves and just ask it directly if you want to.
Did we see any questions in the chat box at all at this time?
No, nothing coming through.
Okay.
Bailey, is it possible for someone, like even right out of high school or maybe a 2-year degree to get a job and then kind of stay with your company, kind of move up? Are there training opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, somebody in our department, she started in food service, like probably 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And now she's doing benefits here in our department. So she's really like worked her way up in our organization. We have a lot of employees who do that.
Sure. And then what about the opposite spectrum? Is it possible for someone in their 50s or even 60 if they want to do something different for the next 10 years? Is it possible?
Oh, yeah. There's tons of growth opportunities here.
Good. So you hire all ages. No discrimination.
Yep, for sure.
Good.
All righty. Well, you're welcome to put more questions into the chat box for Winona Health as we move forward. So don't be hesitant if you think of some along the way, and we'll keep an eye on for those. Thank you very much, Bailey. Appreciate your presentation. And now I'd like to move on to Amy Willock, a recruiting and training manager from our TP company. And Amy, go ahead and take it away. If I can get to the next slide. It's not moving here. There we go.
There we go. Perfect. Well, hi, thank you. So as Pat said, I'm Amy Willock. I'm the recruiting and training manager at our TP company. I'm going to talk a little bit today and give you just a really good background of who RTP is. I think in the time that I've been here, I've realized that everyone, or many people, I should say, around the Winona area have heard the name RTP, but not everyone really understands what it is that we do. And I think what we do is really cool once you get to figure it out. So, and then I think also is important to know what makes us a great place to work. And so I'm going to talk about those three things first. RTP is a very innovative and entrepreneurial company. So that's the first thing I'll talk about. We have a long history and we are family owned. That's the second really great thing about being here. And then we have a lot of opportunities for career advancement and growth and just being challenged every day. So those are the topics I'm going to cover, and then I'll get to the couple jobs we have open right now at the end. So RTP is, as I mentioned, innovative and entrepreneurial. So we are a global compounder of custom engineered thermoplastics. We have about 1,600 employees around the world, and we have around $700 million in annual sales. I think the thing that catches most people off guard is they say, well, what the heck are thermoplastics, and what does that mean to be a thermoplastics compounder? So on the next slide, I will talk a little bit about what that means. We offer a lot of options to our customers. So we have customers that call us to say, we have to make a particular product and we need a very specific material to make our product. That material needs to be a certain strength. It needs to have a certain level of ability to be flame retardant or wear resistant. It has to have a friction about it that makes it a very smooth, use when we're doing things. And so we have a team of engineers that will take and build recipes essentially. So we have recipes that combine a variety of our materials into that end result that then, when we are done producing it, comes out as either pellets, sheet, film, and then we even have optical grade clear plastic that we create. We then send those final products to our customer. In most circumstances, the majority of what we do are pellets. Those customers then melt them down and inject the mold into whatever it is that they're going to do to make their product in the end. So we have, engineers that are creating 9,000, we have a recipe book, we'll say, of over 9,000 different combinations of those materials to make the products that our customers need. Next slide. So how does this actually happen? So our manufacturing plants have machines throughout them that take materials and convert them to our finished product. So we, in this very simplified drawing, you can see there is a base resin, it's called. There is a modifier, which in this particular example is glass fiber. And then there's a blue pigment because this particular customer needed a certain color of blue. So all of those materials go into the blender, it mixes it up, it then feeds it into what's called an extruder. And the extruder is a machine that has an enormous heated screw, and it turns and it mixes those all up and it turns them into strands. And so if you ever have seen those little Play-Doh guys that when you push down and all of the strands come out the top of their head, it looks a little bit like that, but it comes on a very long machine, these giant strands. And as they come out, they cool, and at the end, it gets chopped into little tiny pellets. That is the majority of what we do. Now, I said earlier, we do also have locations that do giant sheets and then film as well. So that's a little bit different process, but in general, that's what's happening out on our production floor every day. Next slide, please. So our customers come from a whole variety of markets, and it can be something as simple as a toothbrush handle to something very complex like aerospace applications. We're very big in the automotive industry, electronics, the medical industry. You know, one of the really great things that we've had is been lucky because there's been such a need with the current scenario of this pandemic, you know, to keep all of the medical supplies have been obviously in very high demand. So we have had a couple of our plants running really nonstop to help create all of those materials for those supplies that are needed in hospitals. So that has been a really great thing for our company, because we have many people that have never had to stop working, and that's been really awesome. You know, our diversity of markets when some maybe paused or shut down, others picked up and were able to keep us going. So that's been really good. Next slide. So the second thing I said that was really great about RTP is that we have a long family history. And so you can see from this brief timeline, we started way back in 1923. Our current CEO, it was his grandfather that established what was called Miller Waste Mills at the time, and they actually created recycled fibers that were used to lubricate rail cars. Eventually, that kind of went another avenue because ball bearings came to be a thing, and so that lubrication wasn't needed. And so that family then said, well, we are going to now create this company that is thermoset plastics. And thermoset means that once those plastics are combined, those materials can't break them down into other materials again. They're set. And so that company was called Fiberite. And if you've been in Winona a while, you may be familiar with that Fiberite name. That was then purchased by another organization called Beatrice Foods, but part of it was retained by the Millers, who are the owners, and still retain that now. And that's what became RTP as we know it today. And we have grown since that point, and now have a very large global presence, and have expanded, like I said, to add not just those pellets, but the sheet business and colors and that optical grade plastic and things that we do that have really just skyrocketed here over the past, 15 years or so. Next slide. So you can see our locations. We have over 20 production plants and salespeople all over the world to support those plants, equating to more than 2 million square feet of production space around the world. We have 13 locations in the US. We have 1 in Mexico, 2 in Europe, and 3 in Asia. So we stay very busy with all of those different places. Next slide. So the third piece that I talked about with RTP being a great place to work is the opportunity that it brings from a career longevity and just being challenged every day. So this is 2 examples of current employees that we have who have been able to take really different paths, but have very successful careers within RTP so far. So Joe is one of our current production managers. He actually is our plant manager in Singapore right now, but he's a Winona native. He grew up here, graduated from Cotter High School, didn't really know what to do with himself once he graduated high school. Had a friend that said, RTP is a really good place, you should go work there. And so he applied and got hired and started working. And a year later, he was offered a job to help open a plant in Dayton, Nevada. And so he said, sure, why not? What do I have to lose? So he moved to Nevada, and he was there for a number of years and got promoted a few times. And then there was an opportunity to help open a plant in Singapore. And so he moved there. And he's been there now for quite a long time, and again, has been promoted. And, in speaking with him, he very much described Singapore as his home. He doesn't sound like he has any intention to come back, but he said, never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that I would end up living in a country on the other side of the world and calling it my home and feeling this comfortable and getting to see and do all of the things that I've gotten to do, all because I went to work at RTP. He said the challenges the opportunities he's been given to learn, to interact with people, to travel, have just been phenomenal. And he is, just forever grateful to have all of that. And just the ability to work. He described himself as someone who's very hands-on, likes to work hard, stay, busy and learn. And so that he's just kind of taken to another level and has made a really great living for himself. On the very opposite end of the spectrum, we have Haley, who, was a college student looking to go into marketing, got an internship with us. She had an opportunity because a lot of changes in the department happened right at the time she was graduating, which allowed her to get hired on full-time. She then was able to take advantage of our tuition reimbursement program. She went back to school, got a master's degree, and she has since been promoted and now is part of our sales team and a business manager. And so she has been here not all that long, but has had several opportunities come to her, again, because of the philosophy that we have to really look within for the roles that we have and to invest in our people through those opportunities and education, and then just take advantage of the ideas that they have, listen to people when they have new ways of doing things. And she too has said, I went into marketing and now here I am a business manager over a product line, and I wouldn't have really pictured that, but I'm loving it and so glad to be a part of the organization. So what that might look like for you could be, who knows? I think it's really from their perspective, you can't even necessarily know what opportunity could be around the corner. So, all right, next slide. RTP does have a really nice benefits package that we offer. So this just gives a quick summary of everything from all of our different insurances, medical, dental, vision, time off, financial security in terms of retirement and healthcare accounts and things, life insurance and all of that. And then there's all the fun things that we have, like a picnic, which unfortunately got canceled this year, but we, things like turkeys and hams at holidays and RTP gear and, one small thing, but really significant too during all of this pandemic, when a lot of the world was shut down and we still were running our production floor here in Winona. We had lunch brought in several times a week for all 3 shifts to thank them for the time and for what they're doing to be here. While many people were at home and not able to come in, they were here every day making sure that our business was running. So, things like that are, it doesn't go unrecognized, which I think is a great benefit that doesn't always get talked about. Next slide. So the 2 positions I have just to highlight real quick today here in Winona are our machine operators, which are the people that are out on our production floor running those extruder machines that I talked about. They're doing the blending, they're doing all of the machine operation. It's, it's heavy work, it's dirty, it is hot on days like just the past couple of weeks we've had here. But again, great opportunities. And so those positions we have are on 2nd and 3rd shift. And they're responsible basically for running those machines. You have to be respectful, have to be positive, coming into work every day. Attendance is critical. So that is something that we really look for. And being able to really do a lot of consistent heavy lifting and repetitive lifting is a piece of that. The second job that we have is a customer service rep. That actually is a office position. And so someone that has experience within an office setting of being a customer service support person is really what we're looking for. Good computer skills, very detailed is necessary, and very where the situation is with between our sales team and our customers, and making those all go really smooth. Next slide. So in summary, I would just say, our little slogan we've come up with recently here is to say that we're helping change the world one pellet at a time. RTP is in so many products that you use every day and you just don't know it because our name is not out there. It's the brand of whatever that product is that you see. But we're in a lot of of just everyday things. So we're one of the largest privately held thermoplastic compounders in the world. We have a lot of opportunities for careers in whatever that might look like for you. And we have a lot of people that are part of our family already, and we're just looking to add more good people. Next slide. So if you have questions or you want to apply, all of our applications right now are online only. So you can go to rtpcompany.com. And so you can walk through our application. You can learn more about the organization there as well. My contact information and email are there as well as my colleague Holly, who does a lot of the, specifically that Winona production hiring is a good point of contact as well. So does anyone have any questions for me about anything?
You can go ahead and unmute yourself if you'd like to ask Amy any questions about RTP.
No questions were in the chat, but yeah, the job seekers who are on the call, yes, definitely unmute yourself. And if you can't unmute yourself, let me know and I'll do it for you. Amy, that's a lot of great information, and I can see the care that RTP has for its products and for its employees. The two stories of the two people, especially the man who went over to Singapore, that's fantastic.
Yeah. He loves it. I think when I spoke with him not all that long ago, it was fun and even inspiring just to talk with him, how much he just absolutely loves what he does. And I think still probably is, it's a little surreal at times to think, how the heck did I get here? Like, this was couldn't even have in my wildest dreams imagined, but here I am. So it's really good.
So now I have a question about the machine operator positions you talked about. It's a pretty hot work. Is that, I'm guessing a person really has to be physically fit and able to do that?
We have a very wide variety of people that do the work. So I think once you learn how to run the machines and you can problem solve and figure that out, but certainly we have a very wide variety of ages, men, women, and there's different parts of the process too, and kind of different areas. So, we try hard to match up people based on what they might be able to do with the best kind of department for them. Some are much heavier than others. And so we would ensure that, while everyone has a basic requirement, certainly there's things that we do to try to match people well with the role.
So it's possible for someone to just put their information into the online careers page, apply, and then kind of talk to you about positions that they might be suited at. Just like, because I think of a lot of job changers and a lot of people in their 40s, 50s who are all of a sudden out of work now looking for something different.
Oh, yes. It's we have many people that are well into their career that are here. So, all different ages, sizes, it all is good. So
good. Thank you.
Lots of options for many people.
All righty. So not seeing any additional questions at this time. I just want to thank you both presenters, Winona Health and RTP, for presenting today. You both did really good presentations with a lot of information. People can feel free to reach out to you each with additional questions if they have any. Your contact information is on the slides and those will be posted. So at this time, if anybody doesn't have more questions, we'll just kind of move forward with some things that are happening in the future here this week at CareerForce. Let me get our next slide. So we do have another virtual career fair on August 3rd, and that starts at 10:30. We have a Jobs Club online that is available yet this afternoon, and that one is from 3 to 4. And that's the topic of that one is identifying skills. On the 29th, we have interview skills and resume writing on the 30th. So you can sign up for those by going to CareerForceMN.com to get registered. Again, I encourage everyone to search for open positions in MinnesotaWorks.net. And this is just a little snippet in time of the last 7 days, and this was earlier or the end of last week, the different jobs that had been posted at that time, but it's a really good website to go to, and I know that RTP and Winona Health both post their openings out there, so you can find their jobs out there. We have a new partnership with Coursera. Deed has developed a new partnership. And so we have classes that you can take online. These are open to anyone in Minnesota. There is no cost to participate in these training and career exploration things. If you sign up by December 31st of this year, you will have access to the classes that you sign up for until March 31st of 2021. You can earn certificates or take classes, and they're offered by universities and different businesses, including IBM and Google, I think, was another business that had several classes out there. So, feel free to sign up for those, or I encourage everybody to do that if you are currently unemployed. This is a great way for you to brush up on some of those skills that you saw the companies here offering or saying that they needed. And while you're off work, you can kind of take those classes to brush up on your skills. We do have access to help if you need additional help. These are different languages, and there are more languages that are offered out there. If you have trouble if English is not your native language, we have contact information for that. And then all of these workshops and classes are recorded. So you can find them on CareerForceMN.com, and there are YouTubes out there that you can watch that we have pre-recorded. Or you can connect via Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of those social media platforms also. And then last but not least, here is the contact information for our CareerForce here in Winona, my contact information, and then the CareerForce Help Desk and Minnesota Works, if anybody has questions about that. So at this time, does anybody have more questions for either one of our presenters? All righty, well, I want to thank you all for participating. Special thanks to RTP and Winona Health today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy days to present this, and hopefully some good candidates will come your way.
Hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.